What's up guys? In this video, we are going to create door schedule and we're going to add values to it. And also we are going to create a door hardware key schedule and assign the hardware to the doors. And then we're going to add the door hardware key to the door schedule. All right. So now the first thing that we'll be doing, let's create a door schedule and add values to it. So from the project browser, you see the schedules here. Just right click that and then you will see here new schedule quantities. So another way to create schedule, you can go to the view tab and then you can look for schedules. That one, so you just select schedule quantities. Okay, but this one is easier. From the project browser, just right click new schedule quantities. Okay, and then after that, we're going to select doors from the category. All right, so doors, and then you can put a name here. All right, so I'm just going to select a door schedule here. And then the pace is new construction. All right, so just select here, okay. And then here, on the schedule properties dialog box, so we have several tabs here. So we have fields, filters, sorting, formatting, and appearance. So for this one, I'll go to the fields first. So here on the left side, so you can see available fields. Right side is scheduled fields. So here on the right side, what are the fields that you want to be included to the schedule? So like for example, here on my available fields, I want to include the mark. So I'm going to double click this and it will now be added here. If you want to remove this, just double click again and it will be put back to the available fields. All right, so just like that. So just double click the fields that you want to be included to your schedule. So width, I also want height and also cost and level. All right. Okay, and then after that, let's use the sorting and grouping. So if I'm going to select here okay, all right, so let me just see how it looks like. So let's select okay, and there you go. So this is now our schedule. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to sort my schedule. So you can go back to your properties and then you can see here the same tabs that we have on our schedule dialog box, right? So if you click the edit on the fields, so you will be going to the edits, fields, edit, and then if you click filter, you will go to the filter, all right? And so on and so forth. Now what I'm gonna do is let me open up the sorting and grouping. So just click edit. So there's my sorting and grouping. So I'm going to select a mark here. I want to sort it by mark, and then after that I'm going to select here okay, and there you go. So it's now sorted by mark. All right, so now you can furthermore modify this one if you want. So you can just go sorting, and then let's say you want it per level, so you can click level. And then you can also add like a header. Okay, header for the level, and then I select here okay. You see there's a header there. Okay, doesn't look good, so let me just change it back. All right, so I want to sort it by mark and then level and then okay. See? Right, so you see here it's sorted by mark first and then after that by level. Okay, so I'm just going to go back again to the sorting and I'm just going to remove that. So I only want to sort it by mark. So you can explore this if you want, and then after that I'm going to select okay. All right, because for this video we are going to talk about construction documentation. So for this topic we're going to discuss creating door schedule, creating room and room schedule, and then we're also going to create legends and keynotes. So that's it for this whole video about construction documentation. Again, if you want to support me, you can go to my website And then all the exercises files are here, including these exercises that I'm using right now. This one, this one, this one. So if you want to support me, $2 each. But if you want to buy or avail all the exercises that I'll be using for Revit Architecture 2026, you can purchase it for only $50. Okay? Because if you're going to buy this one by one, it will cost you like $100. Okay, but if you want to buy all the exercises files at once for Revit Architecture 2026, you can purchase it for $50. So I'll be creating a link for that just in case you want to support me. Okay, or else you just need to use your own exercise file, which is more cheaper. Okay, because the process is the same. All right, so let's go back. So now, the next thing that we'll be doing after we create the door schedule is we're going to create a door hardware key schedule. Okay, so I'm going to right click again on the schedules quantities. Just right click that one, and then let's create new schedule quantities. Okay, so let's select that one. Okay, so here on the new schedule, again, we will be using door here for our category. So door. Okay, and then for the name here, we're going to call it door hardware is schedule. Okay, and last time when we created this door schedule, we used this option, schedule building components. This time we are going to select schedule keys. Okay, and then for the key name, I'm going to call this door hardware. Okay, and then I'm going to select here okay. Right, so here on our schedule properties dialog box, so we're going to add a parameter. Okay, so let's add a parameter here. Right, so you can click this one as well if you want to include some project information to your schedule, but I'll just select here doors. So I'm going to add a parameter here, new parameter, because I only have this one, comments, finish, frame material, frame type. Let's say I want to create a new one, so I'm going to create a new parameter. So let's click this one, and then after that, for the parameter data here, I'm going to type hardware type. And then discipline is common. Okay, so for the data type, I'm just going to use text. Okay. And then for the group parameter under, I'm just going to put this on the other group. Okay. Other group. All right. And then I'm just going to select okay. So there you go. So we just created a parameter. We just added. So now I'm going to add parameter again. So I'm going to select this. So I'm going to call this closer, and then discipline is common. All right. So for the data type, I'm going to select here yes, no. Okay. So yes, no, and then I'll just select here okay. Right. Okay, and then I want to add more parameters. So let's click this one again. I'm going to name it frame silencer. Okay, and then data type here is I'll just select yes, no, other, okay, and then I also want to add kick plate. Okay, kick plate. Yes, no again. Other parameter. Other group. Okay. And there you go. Okay. And then what else? So we have the key name, hardware type. Okay, so closer, frame silencer. Okay, so how about I'm going to add more for lock set. Okay, so lock set, and then for data type, I'll just select text, other. Okay, so I have lock set. What else? Hinges. Data type is text. Group is other group, and then okay. And there you go. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we have 7 parameters. So now I'm going to select here okay. So it will now display your door hardware schedule. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to add a row here. Okay. So that's why here, so there's a rows. So you just select insert data row. Just click that one and there you go. So as you can see, for the closer, frame silencer, and then kick plate, so you have their checkbox. So it's like the yes and yes no, right? So that's the reason why we put the closer, frame silencer, and then kick plate yes or no, so that you will be able to check it or uncheck. So there is a box there. You can check and uncheck. And then for the lock set and then hinges, we selected text here, so we can type a text, right? Same with the hardware type. Now, what we are going to do is we're going to add values to the schedule fields. Okay. So for the key name, so I'm going to type here, let's say passage. Okay. I know, maybe, so that will gonna be my hardware type. So I'll just put 1 here. And then for the hardware type, I'm gonna add a passage hardware type. Okay. And then, okay, so what I want to do is I want to put my lock set and then hinges just beside my hardware type. So I want to move that lock set and then hinges here. So to do that, let's go back to the fields and then we can arrange it here. So you can select this and then you can move it up. Move up, click, and same with hinges. Up, up, up. There you go. And then I select here OK. Alright. So there's my first key name, and then for the lock set, for my passage hardware type, so I'm going to type here A series. Okay, so I want to add more. So insert 1, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, there you go. So I'll just type here the different hardware type first. Locking office, egress, enter, entry, enter, restroom, enter, and then storage, enter. Okay, so for the lock set, I'll type here ANSI F8. For the egress, I want to use series 22 EXT. Okay, where's my list? EXT Devi. Okay. And then this one, it's the same, but since I already typed that one, so I can just click the drop down and select it again. For the restroom, so I just want a push-pull lock set. And then for the storage, ANSI F86. Alright, and then for the hinges, so I'll just type here BB 1 1/2 PR dash BB space knuckle. Let's adjust that one. All right. So I'll just use the same hinge there. Same hinge for this one. And then for the entry, I type BB3 PR BB5 knuckle. Okay, and then here I'll just use the same. All right. So I don't want any closer here on the passage. Check, 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 uncheck. Okay, here, uncheck. Check, 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 check. All right. Now, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to apply the door hardware schedule to our door here. Like for example, for door 46 and 47. So I'm going to select both. Click one and then hold control. And then after that, look for door hardware. Okay, so door hardware. So if I go back to my door hardware schedule, you can see here on the right side, the parameter name is door hardware. This one corresponds to the key name here. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's the door hardware. So in this case, this 46 and 47 door that we selected, that is actually a restroom, right? So in order for us to apply the restroom, instead of changing the parameter of the doors here manually, so we can just change the door hardware here. So we can change that to 4. Select 4. And then if you apply, you will automatically see here that it will change. Right? Okay, so that's how you apply your door hardware schedule to your door. Okay? So like, for example, this door here. So this is an entry, for example. So entry, that's number 4. So I just need to select that door. And then after that, change the door hardware to number 4. So if I select apply, it will automatically change here. Okay, so that's how you apply your door hardware schedule to your door. Okay, now the next thing that we will be doing is we're going to add hardware to the door schedule. Okay, add hardware to the door schedule. So I'm going to, where's my door schedule? So here's my door schedule. Right? So I'm going to edit my door schedule. Okay, so I'm going to select here edit. Okay, and then after that, again, you can click the drop down here if you want to add some more information from room or to room or project information. Okay, but for this one, I'll just select doors there. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the fields from my door hardware schedule. Okay, so I have here my door hardware. Just double click that. What else? Hardware type. So we have that one. Lock set. What else? Hinges. Closer. We create a closer. Frame, silencer, and kick plate. Double click and there you go. So if I select here OK, so there you go. So it's now added here. Okay. All you have to do is to apply your door hardware to the door. Okay. So like for example for this one, so I just apply the door hardware there. Just change from here. Okay, so like for example 2 and then apply. Okay, so if I go back there, door schedule, and there you go. See, so it's now updated. All right, so basically that's how you add hardware to your door schedule. Okay, so now the next thing that we will be doing is, if you have time, by the way, you can just play around, like you can modify the filter. You can go to the filter edit, and let's say I only want to see here level 1 or my ground floor. So you can filter it. So click that drop down and then look for level, and then level that is equal to ground floor. So that's it. Select OK, and then you'll be able to see here only your ground floor. Okay, and another thing, since you change the filter to ground floor, so maybe you can change the name here to ground floor door schedule. Okay, and then these level fields here, we don't need this, but do not remove that from the field here. Do not double click level here to remove from the fields list. So what we are going to do is we're just going to hide this. Okay, so to hide this, we can go to format, edit, and then look for level, and then there's an option here, hidden field. So just select check, and then just select OK. So it's now hidden. Okay, right? And then you can also do the formatting here, and then also the appearance of your schedule when you put it inside the title block or sheet. You can change from here. Okay, so that's it for this exercise. So now the next thing that we will be doing, we are going to learn how to create a room and room schedule. Okay, so let's do this. So we are going to create first a schedule. Okay, basically you can also place first your room, and then after that you can create a schedule, or vice versa. You can create your schedule and then you can place your rooms. Okay, but for this one, let's create first a schedule. So let's right click again, and then let's create new schedule quantities, and then we are looking for rooms category. Just select that one. Okay, so I'll just use the default room schedule name, and then building components, and then I'll just select here OK. And now what are the fields that we want to be included to our schedule? So what I want is the room number. I want the room number, double click that, the name of the room, level, area, comments, if I want to put a comment. Okay, and then I want this to be sorted by number, of course, number. Okay, and then for the format, okay, so for the format, so I'm going to select the area here, and then I'm going to update the heading. Okay, so if you want to change the heading of your area, you can modify here. Okay, and then you can also change here the justification, the heading orientation. Okay, you can change that one, and then you can also change the alignment here. So you can select that, and then you can select, let's say, right. Okay. Okay, so the next thing that we will be doing, let us calculate this one. So let's calculate the total for my area. So let's go to field format. So let's go here, and then you can modify the settings of your area. So if you want to change that to different units, you can change from here. If you want to put decimal places, you can select here. You can change also here the unit symbol if you don't need anything, or if you want the symbol for the square meters, because by default this is checked, so it will just use the default settings. But in case you want to change the settings here, you just need to uncheck this one. Okay, let me just cancel that. Okay, so now for the area, what I want to do here is I want to calculate that one. So calculate totals. Okay, so I want to calculate the total for the area. Alright, and then after that, I'll just select here OK. And then this is now our area. Why do I have limit offset? I don't need that one. So let me go back to my fields, double click limit offset, and then just select OK again. There you go. So now we will be adding some rows here. So I'm going to add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Oh, hang on. You see my number here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It follows number 1, right? So let me undo this one. Okay. So I'm going to put 1 first, and then I'll change this to 101. And then for the name, I'll change this to lobby. I want to create a room for my room name lobby. Okay, and then after that, we're going to add more rows. Data row. You see, it now follows 101. So I want to create a room for the corridor. So I'll just type corridor, enter, and then office for room 103, office for room 104, office for room 105, and then for 106, that's my large room. Enter. Now, the next thing that we are going to do is we're going to add tags to the rooms using the room that we created. Okay, so let's go to the ground floor, and then we're going to tag it. Okay, so like for example, this is my room 101. For example, this is the lobby, right? So from the architecture, I'll look for the room, select the room here, and then we are going to select lobby. By default, this is new. You are going to create a new room. But since we already created it, so it's now available here for us to use. So like I select lobby, so I can place the lobby room here. So I click that. There you go. Okay. And this is my corridor, right? So I select the drop down again. I will apply that corridor room. So I place it here. Okay. And then what else? This is a large office. So I change that. I select large office. Okay. And then, oops, sorry. Then room 105 for this one. Room 104 for this one. And 103 for this one here. There you go. Okay. If you want to add more room, that's fine. You can just select the room, and then after that, you can place it here. Okay. This is a new room, right? So you just place there. So that becomes 107. So you just need to go to room schedule, and then you can specify what is that 107. So let's say that's meeting room. Enter. Okay. Right. So that's for our room. Okay. So now, what else? Yeah, that's it. Very simple, right? So if you want to modify, like for example, you want to add a comment. We created a comment, right? So let's go to the schedules here. So you can put a comment. Okay, you can put a comment here. You can do it here, or you can also select the room, and then you can put a comment here. So for example, for this lobby, I'll just put a comment here. I'm gonna say that this is a public entrance. Enter. Okay, so if I go to the room schedule, it's now updated. There you go. So there's the public entrance, and also the area is already computed. Okay. So that's it. So we can also add some room for, let's say this is men's toilet. Okay. Or This one. So this is the men's toilet. I have a urinal there. So I'm going to select room again, new, because we didn't pre-create it. So I'll just use the new. There you go. Okay, and then select modify. Let's go to room schedule, and then this is men's toilet room. Okay, and then ground floor, so it's now updated there. Okay, so that's it for this simple exercise. Okay, so now the next thing that we're going to do is let us try to create material takeoff. By the way, for the room, you can also go to a section view and then show the room names. Okay, so let me just quickly do that. So, for example, I'll go to main floor, and then this is, for example, my sleeping quarter or whatever it is. So I'll just select room and then place it here, go to room schedule. So let's say that's my sleeping quarter. Okay, and then let's go to ground floor, and then let's see the main floor here. So that's my sleeping quarter. So you see, I have here, let me just put another room here. So I'll just select this room. Okay, and then after that, you can also put some comments here. Okay, or you can click the drop down here, and then that's also my sleeping quarter. There you go. All right, and then you can also click the room, right click, and then you can use create similar. So that's another way of creating same tool like room. So create similar, there you go, pick, and then modify. So I'm going to select that room, name, that's my sleeping quarter. And then you see there's a section here, right? So I'm going to open the section, and then let's say I want to show the room names here. Okay, so I want to put I want to place the room name here. So to do that, so let's go to annotate, and then I'm going to tag it. So there is a tag all not tag here. So I'm going to select this, and I only want to use the room tags. So there's the loaded family for that. So I'm going to check that, and then I'll select OK. Okay, the visibility graphics setting is set to hide the category in the view. Do you want to enable it? Because the rooms is disabled in this view. So we want to enable the room. So I'm going to select OK. And there you go. So I'm just showing you that you can also place your room names on section view. All right. So now the next thing that we will be doing is let's create a material schedule. Okay. So just right click your schedule quantities, and then let's try to select new material takeoff. So let's click this one. All right. And then for the category, so we are going to select material here. So there's no material for this one, right? But as you can see here, I'm going to select doors. Okay, so for the door material takeoff, but I want this to be on ground floor. So I'm going to name my material takeoff ground floor door material takeoff, and then I'll just select here OK. All right, there you go. So now for the scheduled fields that we want here, I want materials. So where's my materials here? Okay, so there's my material name. I want that. Double click material area. Okay, material volume. Double click and material mark. Okay, and then after that, I'll just select here OK. And there you go. Okay, so there's our ground floor door material takeoff. Okay, so for the material mark, for the glass, I'm just going to put here G for glass and enter. You can see that the other glass here will also update, right? And then for the door frame, I'll just call that DF for the material mark. Enter. Just wait. There you go. And then for the door panel, so I'm going to call that DP. Enter. There you go. Okay. Oh, we also have a material for metal. Okay. All right. So there you go. So we just created our ground floor door material takeoff. So I have here metal aluminum. So maybe I'll just type here MA. And what else? Overhead door finish. So ODF. Enter. There you go. So that's now our ground floor door material takeoff. So if you want to sort it, again, you can just sort it by name, material name. Okay. There you go. All right. So that's it for this exercise about creating a room and room schedule, and also creating our material takeoff schedule. Now, for the last exercise for this construction documentation, another thing that we need is we need to learn how to create a legend. Okay? Legend. So that's why I already have my legend prepared here. Okay? So this one, I already pre-prepared this one. Okay, so how to create this legend? So you just need to right-click and then select New Legend. Okay, so that's how I created this one. So just right-click and then select New Legend and put a name. So I put the name Window Legend, and then I use 1:50. Okay, and then after that, legend here in Revit, it's pretty manual. So you need to do it manually. So I created these lines using detail lines. Okay, so using detail lines. So that's how I created these boundaries here, these lines. So just select detail line, and then you can select the line style here. Okay, so I can select one, select modify. I can select one here, and then it tells you that that's a thin line. So I use a thin line for these lines here. So it's pretty manual. So you need to do the boundaries here, unlike scheduled, which is automatic. So for the legend, so you need to do it like manually for the boundaries. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is, the next thing that we're going to do after you create the boundary of your legend is, you go to annotate, and then you go to component, drop down. You can see here legend component. So you click the legend component, and then because this is a window schedule, window legend, so I'm going to go to the placement here, check the component type. Okay, so for the component type, I'll look for the window here. So window arch top fix 900 by 1200. So I just select that one. So these are the component types that is loaded in your project. Okay, that is being used in your project. So you will be able to see the list from here. Okay, so these are the families, component type that is loaded in your project. So I selected that one, and then you can also change here the view direction. So you can select front view or back elevation or floor plan. So I select floor plan for this one, and then for the host length, I'll just change this to 1200 and then enter. And then I am now ready to place it here. So just place. Okay. Right. And then here, so I want to place the elevation view, for example. Same window, but I'll change that to front. Okay, so I'm going to place one here, and I'll put another one back. There you go. All right, and then modify, and then just tidy up this one. So let's change this to fine and maybe shaded. Okay, and then let's use align here. So let's go to modify, align. I want to tidy up, so align. There you go. All right. Okay, so next, let us add some more. So let's go to the annotate, legend, component. So from the component type, so I'll be using here casement 900 by 1200. And then same, I'm going to select floor plan for the length. I'll make it 1200. So I'll just put one there. And then I want to place front and back. There you go. Okay, so I want to complete this one. So I'm gonna use double casement 900. This one I'll use 1800 by 1200. That's back, so I'll just put it here, and then front here, and then floor plan here. Okay, and what else? Double hung trim. So select that one. Floor plan is here, and then front is here, and back is here. Modify. All right, and then we can add text. Okay, it's really manual, right? So I'm going to select the text tool here. Okay, so text tool, and then I'll be using the 6mm text style, and then let's put it at the center. Okay, center. So I'll just click here. So this is a window. I just make it all caps. So window legend. Then just click outside. There you go. You can still select that one, and then you can use the arrow on your keyboard. Okay, so same with your models here. So if you want to tidy up, again, you can use the align tool for this. So like align again for this one, and then this one. Click align, click. All right. Okay, so that's our window legend text. So let's select the text tool again. This one, text. Do we have another type here? Okay, so there's... Okay, I'll just use the same type. So 6mm. So this is... number. Okay. You can use the arrow on your keyboard. And what I can do is I can just select this and copy. So you can also do that. So I want to place one here. One here, and then one here. Okay, so this is elevation, front and back. Okay, so too big, select change to 4mm. Okay, so this one is plan view. Then this is the name. I want to put the name there. And for uniformity, so how about I just change all of this to 4. Okay, so 4mm. Okay, and then we can add a symbol here. Okay, so I'm going to add a symbol. So let's go again to annotate. And then there's a symbol here. So let's click the symbol. All right. And then what we can do here is we can add a window tag. I have a window tag here. This one. So window tag. Okay. And then I'm going to place one here. All right. Can click that. Wonder if I can change this one. Doesn't allows me to change it. So let me just look for another symbol that we can use here. So that's a window tag. Okay, so I'll just use this. No other parameters that we can use to change it. That's fine. So I'll just select this and then I'll just copy that. Okay. Right. And then we can put the name here. Okay, so let's create the text. I use 4mm, so I just type here. So arch tap fixed, and then just click outside, and there you go. So I'll just copy this one again. Okay, and then just edit the name. All right, so basically that's how you create your window legend. So the legend here in Revit, it's pretty manual. So you just need to edit that one. Okay, you need to do it like manually. Okay, and let's say I just want to add a dimension here. So I click this. So I want to add a dimension from here to here. There you go. Click outside and then modify. Okay, so that's it for this simple exercise. So hopefully you learned something from this video. So we have learned how to create a door schedule and door hardware key schedule. And also we learned how to create a room and room schedule and then window legend. Okay. So I'll be creating another video talking about keynotes. Okay, so thank you for watching, guys. Have a nice day.